Boom. All right, what's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Waves News, a series where we cover recent news and current events that relate to the markets. These episodes are meant to be more chill, so sit back and grab yourself a drink. Right now, I am personally drinking Keto Super Coffee with protein and MCT oil. Got to wire up for all these articles we're about to read through. As always, let me know what you guys are drinking down below. I'm personally going to be popping some Hibiki Japanese whiskey a little later on. That has been my drink of choice for the evenings lately. So if you are partaking in some big kid drinks, don't be afraid to share those down below as well. And of course, cheers to the weekend, you guys. I hope you all had a great weekend. Next week in the markets is going to be a big week for the Waves fam. I can definitely feel it. A lot of excitement ahead. Of course, we'll get more into the specifics of the plays and whatnot in tomorrow's exclusive Sunday Stock Watch. I will talk more about that as well during the plugs after we go over the topics. But we got to dig it and sink it first, and then we will go over all the topics and articles that we will be discussing today before diving into each one individually. So, cheers, Waves fam. Drink up, and then once again, we will go over these topics. It's ice cold, so smooth. All right, so first up, we got that secret stimmy coming in hot. I was very excited to see this, not only for many families in the U.S., but for the equity markets and pretty much everything aside from the dollar, of course. Okay, so CNBC, child tax credit payments could act as stimulus for retailers as soon as this month. So, of course, we will read over the key points here. No need to really dive into the article on this one because the key points say it all. And the primary reason I want to share this one with you guys is to kind of just talk about the booster shot that it is for the markets themselves, okay? As we all know, there's been money printer go burr. There has been money printing out the wazoo, and this is just another supplement to that rally that we're seeing in the stock market, okay? So read over the key points here. Another positive article for the stock market titled BlackRock CEO is concerned about inflation, but here's why he still sees stocks going higher. All right, so BlackRock CEO, of course, I'm sure many of you are familiar with BlackRock, one of the largest investment hedge funds in the world. So the CEO of BlackRock, his words obviously hold weight, and I did enjoy this article and I want to share it with you guys. And again, just kind of complement that conversation around why I personally believe stocks are probably going to be going higher for the near future. I will just say right off the bat, I do think that we will probably see a correction in the equity markets come fall, come like late summer, early fall, maybe heading into the winter. But for now, there's just too many catalysts. There's just too many fundamentals that lead me to believe, in the words of the meme gods, that stocks only go up. All right, so that is all the market talk. Then we're going to hop into a funner article titled Inside the Space Race by one of my favorite, probably just news platforms in general, a great podcast as well, Robinhood Snacks, is Robinhood.com. So Robinhood Snacks, of course, owned and operated by the Robinhood app company. And this is a fun article that we will dive into, just talking about all the excitement around space travel, space tourism primarily in this case, because we're talking Branson, Bezos, the future of the space industry. So this is a lengthy one. This is definitely the longest article we're going to talk about. But because the Waves fam did just reintroduce Virgin Galactic or SPCE stock to the portfolio last week, I feel like this is very relevant moving forward from here, especially because next week is when Bezos is planning on shooting up into the stars. Not the stars, but, outside of our atmosphere, which will definitely bring that much more attention onto to the space travel, space tourism industry, all right? So we'll go over this and then close out the video talking some good old BTC. We actually have one more article to look at after this, but this is, it does kind of correlate to BTC in a sense. That'll make sense right as we talk about it, okay? But PayPal increases crypto purchase limits to $100,000, okay? That's big when you're talking about from prior to this, it was $20,000. So we are seeing a 5x in that crypto increase. And although right now, you guys, I'm short-term bearish on Bitcoin. I've been bearish on Bitcoin for the better part of 2 months now. I've had that $25,000 price target in place for, as I just said, the better part of 2 months. I still think that's going to come. But again, I'm still so bullish on Bitcoin, Ether, all the names we talk about on this channel all the time, on the cryptocurrency space and blockchain technology for the long term. That bullish long-term sentiment hasn't changed. Short-term bearish, and again, I'm super pumped that we all get to accumulate at a more reasonable, at a lower cost, okay? But again, I still want to put a lot of weight on these big ones like DeFi and Bitcoin. Jack Dorsey launches a new Square division to make it easy. So again, all of these massive companies, these fintech companies, these cutting edge, these bleeding edge tech companies that are revolutionizing the 2.0 of the financial system, they are pushing Bitcoin, okay? So PayPal, again, Square, Venmo, they pretty much own this next layer, the next generation of finance, okay? So this is very strong. Again, I've been talking a lot of, I guess a lot of people just don't like that negative short-term bearish sentiment from a technical perspective. But if that's you, I'm a trader. I'm trying to optimize profits. That's my game, okay? So I do want to throw in some strong long-term fundamentals, some bullish fundamentals when it comes to the long-term prospects of Bitcoin and the crypto industry. That's why we'll go over this. So you may say this is bullish. This is bullish news. There's a lot of bullish news coming out. Why is Bitcoin falling right now? Why is crypto struggling? And this is a big reason for at least the recent struggle. Jerome Powell, good old JP, CBDC report coming in early September. So we will go on to talk about this, read a few paragraphs here. And I just want to give you guys my thoughts around the effect that a potential central bank digital currency could have on the cryptocurrency space. Talked about this I think the last time we talked about this was probably in a Waves Weekly a couple of months ago when they not first reported this, but really kind of brought it up in the conversation again. But again, as JP says, report coming in early September, that's pretty big news. And I think a lot of people are thinking that this will impact the cryptocurrency space directly. I personally don't. But again, we will read through this at the very end. And I'll give you guys my thoughts on that before we close out the video. Before we do dive into the first article, as always, you guys, please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it today. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, want to catch more content like this. Again, these are completely article focused. This is all fundamentals, just a nice weekend video for you guys to hopefully chill a little bit more. We're not just looking at charts, we're not talking technicals, not looking at a whole bunch of stick figure lines and trend lines and whatnot, just reading and chilling and drinking our super coffee, okay? So one more sip, lube up the throat a little bit before we start reading. And before we start reading, housekeeping. So you guys, please check out the daily portfolio, complete portfolio. Damn, scuff that one up right off the bat. Complete portfolio daily newsletter. It's not only a complete breakdown of my entire personal portfolio that I do update every trading week, trading day during market hours. I do also send out the complimentary email newsletter explaining my thoughts, rationalizing the trades I made in that day. And you also get the Sunday Stock Watch, the exclusive Sunday Stock Watch. So it's the same thing as the Sunday Stock Watch as I've always recorded. I'll record one that looks exactly like this, everyone I've done in the past, but now I make it a private video and you can only see that if you have the link to that video, which I send out in the newsletter on Sundays, okay? So daily portfolio, oh my God. I've been drinking whiskey already? No, I have not. But complete portfolio daily newsletter. Again, not only the portfolio breakdown and the newsletter, but you also get the Sunday Stock Watch. And Fridays are for the fam. So I only hop in the Discord and I only send out the newsletter on Fridays for actual Friday updates going into the weekend. All right. So $15 a month or $40 for 3 months if you guys want to check that out. Of course, the Waves exclusive Discord. You can use code YouTube15 if you want $15 off that $100 that it does cost, but that's unlimited access to the community. I hop in there every trading day at 2 p.m. Give or take like 5 minutes at about 2 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time to directly talk with you guys, talk shop, really engage directly with the community in there. And there's a lot of great people. The admins, the mods, you guys know who you are. Shout out to all of you doing a great job running that community. A lot of valuable information in there. So all those links will be down in the description. Really means a lot if you guys check those out. Helps everything we're doing here possible. Okay, so let's dive into these articles. Again, child tax, the secret stimmy that's coming. This is big news for the markets and families. Key points. Monthly child tax credit payments will start on Thursday and run through December. The payments will be $250 or $300 per child, depending on age for families that qualify for the full amount. The government program is intended as a poverty-fighting tool, but may also act as a stimulus that encourages spending on food, school supplies, and clothes. Walmart, Target, Costco, and auto parts retailers will be among the biggest beneficiaries, according to JP Morgan. Okay, so here, this is very exciting to me for a few reasons. Now, this is going to kids, obviously, under the age of 18, 300 to kids, I believe, under 7 and under, and then from 7 to 17, you get 250 per child, all right? So this is a lot of households in the US. I know it says it down below. We're not going to get into the specifics of that, but this is a lot of money that's going to start being pumped into the ecosystem, okay? And again, Walmart, Target, Costco, kind of just the big box retailers. Of course, they're stoked about that. Those are about as safe as trades get. But I'm not thinking about those. I'm thinking about the smaller cap companies, the companies that, again, small cap companies that have been ripping on the retail surge lately. A lot of stimmies have been going to this already. And because these companies that I'm keeping an eye on are kind of these companies that will flourish, do flourish a lot off families, like parents primarily. Like parents right now, average age is probably like 28 to 40. So 28 to 40-year-old demographic falls like so perfectly in so many stocks I'm looking at. Again, we will touch on those over the course, definitely on Sunday, but over the course of next week as well. And especially as earnings season comes in for a lot of these smaller cap retailers, late July, early August, okay? So very exciting potential here. Again, not only for those retailers that we were just talking about, not only for these, but for the market in general, because a lot of parents, of course, are investing in the markets. They want to trade the markets. And if they're getting this extra tax credit, they'll probably just dump some money in the markets and their favorite stocks regardless, okay? So, of course, Stimmy, as we've learned over the course of the past year or so now, is equals good. More Stimmy equals more upside for the equity markets, all right? So close that out there. Again, a complimentary article right here, just kind of more fundamental tailwinds for upside in the equity markets. BlackRock CEO is concerned about inflation, but here's why he still sees stocks going higher. BlackRock co-founder and CEO Larry Fink believes in the long-term trend for the U.S. stock market remains strong, even after a robust rally over the past year since coronavirus-driven plunge. I'm not going to suggest that it's going to be a straight line upward, and there could be disappointments going forward. But overall, with the amount of fiscal stimulus and monetary stimulus, and more importantly, with the amount of cash that is looking to be put to work, always say that, you guys, there's so much capital, there's so much hot capital out there that wants to be put to use, and have that money make money, okay? Classic Investor 101 right there. Have your money make you money. I believe the trend line is still going to be upward, Fink said in an interview on CNBC Squawk Box on Wednesday. Fink, who also serves as chairman of the world's largest asset manager, said it's possible the markets move higher is maybe not as fast as some would like to be in the second half of 2021. That's pretty standard, aside from the winter. Again, late summer, early fall, even now, like the markets are a little slow, but that's just that's historical. The summer slowdown, that's pretty much happens every year. Fink, who also serves as, I just read that, maybe it's going to be very moderate for the next 6 months as we digest how the world is able to handle the Delta variant and the speed in which vaccines occur throughout the world. Fink said, referring to the highly transmissible coronavirus strain that's concerning public health officials. And then 2, what's going to be inflation out 6 months and a year. What's going to be inflation out 6 months and a year, okay? So, again, right now there's all the talk of inflation. Inflation, as we just got in the report earlier last week, is running hot, like hotter than it has in decades, okay? So, that is although that data is out, people still, like big investors, a lot of big money still doesn't know exactly how to process that, okay? It's very obvious that inflation trades over the longer haul are going to be very, very necessary, but right now, as he said in this, as I've been saying, as a lot of us know, there's just so much damn capital out there that equities and assets are going to continue to rise for now, at least for the near future, okay? And as I said in the beginning, I think the equity markets will see a correction, like a fairly significant correction, the first significant pullback that it's seen in a while, over the course of the next few months. Talking, just to play it safe, I kind of scuffed the time frames at the beginning, but just say mid-fall, just to play it safe, like mid-fall, maybe like September, October, we will start to see a correction, okay? But then winter is going to be very exciting, especially for the Waves family's favorite plays, those hyper growth risk-on plays, because those usually do good. Those historically do well, I should say, during the winter time, okay? So that's my favorite time of year. Christmas is awesome, New Year's is great, and hyper growth stocks flourish, all right? Inflation and its impact on the U.S. economy and markets is a major topic at the moment as U.S. economic activity picks up speed following pandemic-related slowdowns and disruptions. Okay, so that's that. Again, you guys, just the summary of these two articles is pretty much, there's a lot of money out there. That money wants to be put to work. It's likely going to go to work in the equity markets, and that will likely drive equities up, especially some of the most exciting ones in the market surrounding retail, okay? And again, I'm definitely eyeballing some specific trades right now, so I'm very excited to talk about those over the coming weeks, all right? So let's completely flip the script. Again, we introduced SPCE, or Virgin Galactic, to the it was actually in the most recent because I didn't upload a video on Thursday. That's a big reason I wanted to do this. I want to do at least 4 videos a week for you guys. Thursday didn't feel like there was much to talk about. So on days where I'm not like excited to make a video about something, or I feel like you guys honestly won't be very excited to watch it, I'll just do one of these, okay? So let's read through this. Again, very, very exciting here. I love just not even, aside from the equity markets, aside from potentially making money, and aside from like a play like Space being a potentially lucrative investment, I love just the revolutionary aspect of this. Just the fact that these billionaires are using their money and their resources to do something that I believe is very beneficial to the human race moving forward, like over the decades, centuries even, okay? So very, very cool. Genuinely love this stuff. That's also why I invest in the sectors I do. You guys know it's in the YouTube title, like the YouTube header on my page. Investor in revolutionary assets. I only invest in things that are like pushing humanity forward, like that I really believe. Not only, I should say, but my primary mode of investment, kind of my primary thesis around investment, is investing in these high risk, high reward companies that are doing revolutionary things in the world, okay? And that's kind of where Space falls into, and many of the other plays that we have, like crypto, EVs, biotechs, fall into, okay? So anyway, kick it off with a pun. Comment me, bro. We take those. I'll give them that. The space battle of the billionaires has moved from the Twitter sphere to the thermosphere yesterday. Nice. Also, I mean, these guys are Robin Hood snacks, man. They're a little too punny sometimes. Yesterday, Virgin Galactic founder Richard Branson boarded Virgin's VSS Unity, traveling faster than 3 times the speed of sound to reach the edge of space. Branson just became the first billionaire founder of a space company to go to space on his own spacecraft. Very meta. Next up is Bezos, who announced his own trip before Branson decided to outspace him. The former Amazon CEO plans to take off on Blue Origin spaceplane on July 20th, along with his brother and a mystery bidder who's dropping 28 M's to join them, or $2.5 million per minute of ride time. That's more. I will say, you guys, for a billionaire, that's kind of a drop in the bucket. If you get to sit directly next to Jeff Bezos, if you get the marketing, like just from a marketing perspective, it'd be smart for the CEO of any large company to do this, just because you could say you were on that space flight with Jeff Bezos. Now, would I do it? For sure not. This is sketch. I do not want Jeff Bezos to come crashing down, for sure, which is definitely not not a percent. There's not the percentage, the possibility of an unsuccessful space flight from a percentage perspective is not one that I'm personally comfortable with, and I'm not even comfortable with not an idol of mine, but someone I respect a lot, and many respect a lot, and a very important, influential human to our planet, in Jeff Bezos. Not very comfortable even personally with Bezos going to space by himself on this mission, okay? Not sure what Blue Origin's track record is. I imagine it's good enough for him to be comfortable doing this, but a little sus. I'll just say that much. Spaghetti Apollinaise. I like that one more than the comment, me bro. Apart from fueling billionaires' egos, these trips are major endorsements for NASA-sponsored space tourism. Think restaurant booking on the ISS. NASA is leaning on private companies to help commercialize space. In May last year, Elon's SpaceX, first name basis, huh? Elon's SpaceX became the first private company to send humans to space. In May, Virgin completed its first human spaceflight, a critical step before it flies space tourists, ETA early 2022. While $250,000 tickets to space make headlines, tourism is still a tiny sliver of the space industry. What is not a tiny sliver? Satellites, one of the largest space industry subsectors, providing everything from Wi-Fi to telecom to GPS and weather sensing. SpaceX's Starlink project has already launched 1,000 plus high-speed internet satellites to low Earth orbit and is accepting $99 pre-orders. Defense, the real-life Space Force for fiscal year 2022. The Pentagon requested $21 billion to invest in outer space security. Defense giants Lockheed and Boeing both have space divisions. NASA missions. Boeing, fun fact actually, my grandpa worked for Lockheed Martin, and my dad actually, after he passed, inherited a crazy amount of Lockheed stock. Maybe one day I'll see that. I don't know exactly how much it is. I know it's a lot. My dad is a pretty frugal individual, but maybe one day. So I like Lockheed for that reason. It's not necessarily down my lane. You guys know kind of my investment style. More small cap guy. Lockheed is a very well established, very large company. Based on both performance, revenue, and market cap and connections. By every metric, Lockheed Martin is a very large company, but I'm a fan, so I'll just say that much. NASA missions. Boeing is developing a spacecraft for NASA flights, and Elon SpaceX won a $2.9 billion contract to develop a NASA lunar lander, beating out Bezos' Blue Origin RIP Prime Moon delivery. So again, SpaceX, when that IPOs, that's going to be one of the wildest IPOs of all time. We'll definitely be buying at least a few shares of SpaceX, no matter what the IPO price is, just for the culture. Similar to like Coinbase, Robinhood, same thing there. SpaceX is going to be, I mean, I'm definitely more bullish on SpaceX long term than Virgin Galactic at this point in time. That's 100% a fact. Takeaway: this isn't sci-fi. The space industry is taking off in a real way. Space startups raised $7 billion in 2020, double what they raised in 2018. Today, space customers mainly consist of governments and companies paying to launch satellites, cargo, and astronauts into space. In the not-so-distant future, they could be commercial space tourists. In the more distant future, they could be space colonizers on the moon and even Mars. See Elon's Martian vision. Okay, so again, you guys, this is the genesis of space travel. We're still in if I'll just do the if, I think we're going to be around in the year 3000, but I'm going to say if they're going to look back at the 2000s, like the year of the 2000s, close to the year 2000. Because 1,000 years from now, you're not going to get specific as the tens and stuff. They're going to look back at this time as the genesis, as like the real a pivotal moment in an extremely pivotal moment for the human species on the human timeline. Okay, so this is very, like, as I've been saying, as I'm sure you guys know already, as I said in the beginning before even reading this, very, very exciting to me. I love this kind of stuff. This is why I invest in this kind of stuff. This is why I love talking to you guys about this kind of stuff. So please let me know if this interests you as well down below, because again, I'm going to be watching this closely. I'm waited with bated breath. I'm on the edge of my seat to watch Bezos launch into space. Definitely keeping the fingers crossed for the king. So let's hope. Let's all give him. Let's throw some W's down in the chat for Bezos and rockets without. In the Discord, there's a rocket emoji that goes down. Let's hope it's definitely the standard rocket emoji. That is this beautiful one right here. Okay, so moving on to Bitcoin. Again, talk some Bitcoin, and then we'll talk CBDC to close out the video. PayPal, the company said the move was aimed at giving customers more choice and flexibility to purchase crypto. Payment provider company PayPal now allows US-based based users to purchase up to $100,000 in crypto weekly. That is a grand cap. In a Thursday announcement, PayPal said it had increased the crypto purchase limit for certain customers based in the US from $20,000 to $100,000 per week. Let's go to 5x right there. The company said the move was aimed at giving users more choice and flexibility in purchasing cryptocurrency. So that's a very general blanket statement. This is meant for whales, and they know a lot of whales are going to start coming in, especially since we are coming to the what I believe to be the later stages, definitely the latter half of the capitulation of the correction. I do still think, once again, 25,000 is in the cards, currently sitting at about 30K, just above 30K. I still think 20 to 25,000 is in the cards, and that's really going to be the sideways range that we travel in for a couple of months, maybe prior to really kicking off, like reigniting the overall rally that is Bitcoin to $100,000. I think that's very easy. I still think over the coming decade, Bitcoin will easily see $500,000. That would equate to roughly a $9 trillion market cap for Bitcoin, which is the current market cap of gold. I think Bitcoin, as you guys know, is the ultimate inflation hedge, just a better, more efficient version of gold. So I think that market cap can be at least met over the course of a decade. In all honesty, 10 years from now, 2030, would not be surprised to see $1 million Bitcoin. And that's pretty much, I feel like at $1 million, that's 2x. That's about an $18 trillion market cap. That's probably where we start to plateau out a little bit. At least that's what I personally expect. It's also like such a psychological even. But $1 million Bitcoin over the decade possible. 500,000 over 5 years definitely possible as well. Those are nice, nice intervals right there. But again, this is very, very bullish news. As I said in the beginning, PayPal owns Venmo. Square, Cash App, they own Square and Cash App, two companies owned by Mr. Jack Dorsey, founder of Twitter. I mean, the future is in Bitcoin. There's no doubt in my mind, even with all the FUD around Bitcoin right now, China, whatever, CBDC scaring people away from crypto itself. If that's the case, if people are getting scared about the CBDC affecting Bitcoin specifically, or many projects in the crypto ecosystem, they just don't know. They still don't know what Bitcoin is. Okay, again, Bitcoin is the most provably and absolutely scarce asset on the planet. All right. And it's so secure, it's so solid. There's so many reasons that Bitcoin is such an obvious investment. That's why I've been in Bitcoin. That's why I've had pretty solid positions in Bitcoin. Even like this year was the first year in like 4 years that I liquidated any of my crypto or converted or took profits. And again, I'm planning on converting a lot of the profits I took this year back into crypto once my downside price targets are hit. Okay, so still very bullish on Bitcoin. There's still a lot of fundamentals out there. There's still so much infrastructure being built around Bitcoin, Ether, many exciting projects in the cryptocurrency space. And again, it's important to remember we're not in the first inning. Oh man, it's important to remember we're not only in the first inning anymore, but we are still in the early days. Okay, so bullish on Bitcoin, long on Bitcoin, faux show. Let's close it out. Jerome Powell, J. Powell, CBDC. U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell said an anticipated federal report on central bank digital currencies, or CBDC, would come in early September during a Wednesday hearing before the U.S. House Committee on Financial Services. In a response to a question from a ranking member, Patrick McHenry, Powell said the report will outline the benefits and risks of CBDCs, as well as cryptocurrencies and stablecoins more broadly. In the hearing, Powell reiterated that stablecoins need regulation if they're going to play a major part within the U.S. payments network. Stablecoins certainly have some advantages in terms of faster payment systems and have some attributes of CBDCs, but there are some risks with stablecoins right now. Powell said, I think the issue is that stablecoins are a lot like money market funds or bank deposits or a narrow bank. Okay, so again, that's innately bullish for crypto and stablecoins. Like, he's not straight up dissing stablecoins right there, because that's virtually what the US CBDC, or central bank digital currency, is going to be. It's the US dollar built on the blockchain, which is so obvious. It's going to happen at some point. It's inevitable. The euro, the European Union is already like working on the dollar, or on the digital euro. China is working on their digital currency as well. So this is the obvious evolution for currencies. Of course, that technology has been taken from Bitcoin, from blockchain. And again, I do think that in the future, even if there is even if this CBDC, the US CBDC specifically launch, goes as well as it possibly could, I still think that Bitcoin, Ether, the cryptocurrency, like, I will say, I think aside from maybe 20 projects, I'll say aside from 20 projects, I'll say 50 just to play it super conservative. Aside from 50 projects that exist right now, everything else will probably go to zero at some point, okay? So I'll say that right now, that again, 50 is very conservative. I lean more towards 20 personally, and even 20 could be pretty generous in certain respects. But Bitcoin, Ether, you guys know EOS, Chainlink, there's certain projects I really like personally. I don't think these things are going anywhere because they actually provide tangible value for the world, and they have infrastructure being built around them at scale, okay? So very bullish. I do think that cryptocurrencies, the valuable projects at least, and CBDC moving forward will work in unison, and I think everything will be good. I think if anything, the US CBDC, if it's launched successfully, will bring positive attention to the crypto markets, because again, it's built on the technology that was developed through the crypto markets. All right, so we'll call it there, you guys. Please let me know what you think about if any of these articles made you think, especially if any of these moved you in that's so whack. If any of these really caught your attention, if you have any strong opinions about any of these, please let me know down below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys downstairs in the comments. So again, you guys, hope you have a great rest of your Saturday. Hope you have a great Sunday as well. And I'll catch you guys next week. Until then, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.